Hey, how you doing? This is Craig Beck from StopDrinkingExpert.com, the website that helps people to escape the loop of problem drinking. If that sounds like you and you've been thinking about doing something for an awful long time, make today the day you actually do something. Sign up to the free Quit Drinking webinar at the website, StopDrinkingExpert.com, and I'll explain to you how this process that I created has helped hundreds of thousands of people to escape the loop of problem drinking. So I'm back from the States. I was in Tennessee for about 36 hours. I've spent a good bit of time in London, England. I got to see my daughter, which was fantastic. I also got to spend some time with her boyfriend, Callum. He's a very good guy. I like him a lot. And we agree on something that most people don't agree on. And I wanted to bring this up because one thing that I realized in my first real trip since the whole coronavirus pandemic, I used to be traveling once a month. So this trip has been building for several years now. And I noticed something quite profound, the importance of routine in life, in sticking with the path that you want to be on. This is not just about alcohol. This is about diet. It's about exercise. It's about anything that you've made a commitment to. Because I've noticed that when I go on a trip, routine it vanishes. It just goes. And there's a takeaway dish that you get in the UK. And I know you can get it in other countries. You can get it here in Cyprus, but it's not the same. It's only like this in the United Kingdom, and it's a doner kebab. I know it's like a Turkish dish originally, but I don't care where you go in the world, it's never the same as it is in the United Kingdom. Now, the general opinion of this terrible takeaway dish is that it's so bad that you would only ever choose to eat it if you were blind drunk. And I've always disagreed with that. I've always thought it's the stuff of the gods. It's food from heaven. And my daughter's boyfriend, Callum, he agrees with me. He says that this stuff you don't need to be drunk to eat it. It's fantastic. And I absolutely agree. But I had 2 of these in a week away. How bad is that? They were offering me desserts on the plane. I was having those. Bread bun, yes, please, I'll have that. But when I'm here in Cyprus, I have a very good routine. I have a very healthy breakfast. I put flax seeds in my food. I'm taking all my vitamins and my supplements. I'm adding fiber to everything. I stay away from gluten. I'm very focused on what I'm doing. But you put me on a trip and routine goes out the window. So that's the first thing I wanted to share. Routine is so important. And if you're in the early stages of sobriety, try your very best to maintain that routine. That might mean you have to turn down some invitations. You may be invited to go to places or to go on trips and things. And if you're in the initial stages of this, I'm just telling you, it's going to make it so much more difficult. And if you can suffer just for a few weeks, just for the first, 3 to 6 weeks, turn down those unusual invitations that will force you to break your routine. You'll make your life a lot easier. So that's the first point I wanted to bring up today. The second one was an email I got from someone, a member of the Stop Drinking Expert program. And she said to me, Craig, I don't get it. She said, I'm an intelligent person. I hear what you say. I agree with everything you say. I've read Alcohol Lied to Me and I've done your course. There is not even 1% of me that believes that alcohol is a benefit. I get it. It's poison. It's killing me. I understand it. I believe it. Why isn't that enough to keep me off it for life? Why isn't that knowledge powerful enough a tool to keep me sober for the rest of my life? And it's a great question. And I think that because it's more complicated than that. This is not a binary situation. It's not a take it or leave it situation, because let's change the substance. Let me give you an example. Okay, I hate Brussels sprouts. Absolutely despise them. I think they're the devil's veg. I would rather eat cold sick than Brussels sprouts. Absolutely despise them. All right, that is a binary decision for me. You show me a Brussels sprout, ask me, do you want one? It's a yes or no, and it's always going to be a no. I'm never going to, fluctuate on that. I'm never going to go, do I want one? It's always going to be a flat no. It's a binary choice, all right? When it comes to alcohol, it's not, because it's not you making the decision. It's not you totally making the choice. Consciously, you may look at the alcohol and go, no, I don't want it. It's going to kill me. It's poison. I don't want it. But it's not just you who's making that choice. You're also being influenced by the addiction, by the evil clown. That's why I say on the course that the first thing you have to do is separate yourself from the addiction. Because if it's true that you are choosing to ignore the fact that this is poison and it's killing you and drink it regardless, that implies that there's something wrong with you, that you're broken, that you're weak-willed, that you're not very intelligent, you've got a low IQ, whatever you want to say. That sort of suggestion implies that the problem here lies with you being stupid. That's why I say on the course, you've got to separate yourself from the addiction. There's you, this good, wonderful person who loves their family, who's do anything for them, has great friends, and is loyal and reliable, and all those positive labels you can give yourself. And then over here, you've got your addiction. It's not you. It's like a rogue tenant that you've invited to live inside you, and they're not going to leave. They're squatting there. All right. So there are two parts of you making this decision. And that evil clown that you've invited to live in your head has access to information that nobody else on planet Earth has. Not even your husband, your wife, your mom, your father, your brother, your sister. Nobody has access to the depth and range of information than your rogue tenant. They know all your darkest secrets and fantasies and what you're afraid of, what you're really afraid of, what motivates you, what excites you. They know all your faults. They know all your good aspects. And because of that, they can, this rogue tenant can push you and prod you and poke you and pull strings that other people don't even know about. So, you probably noticed that evil clown never says to you, why don't you drink some vodka? It's really good for you. Because you'll instantly go, well, no, it isn't. That's not strong enough to work on you, because like this person said in the email, it's bad for you. You know this information. Your evil clown is going to use a manipulation tool designed specifically for you. It might say, why are you sitting there on your sofa lonely? Why are you in pain? Why are you so miserable? Why are you feeling so down and so unloved when all you have to do is have a drink and it all goes away? Or it might say to you, what's the point of going to this party when you're so shy? You're not going to speak to anyone. You're going to stand in the corner and look stupid and everyone's just going to ignore you. You're going to be so socially anxious that you're going to hate every single minute of this party. Why are you doing this when you can just have a drink and you'll have a great time? This is the sort of manipulation that your rogue tenant is using to strong arm you to do something that you already know at a conscious level is bad for you. So that's why it's more complicated than simply knowing that alcohol is bad for you and then choosing not to have it. So the way the course works around this, it's basically extinction theory. It's pattern interrupt, because you have conditioned yourself at a subconscious level to respond to those prompts from the evil clown. You have a program in your head. For example, the solution to loneliness is alcohol. The solution to depression is alcohol. The solution to anxiety is alcohol. These are the programs that you have taught yourself over many years. Now, your subconscious mind is not going to waste time and creativity and brain power trying to come up with a different solution to recurring problems. It has a solution. You've told it that the solution to anxiety is alcohol. And think about it. When you go to cross a road and there's traffic coming, you don't come up with a different way to do it every time, do you? Just for the sake of creativity. Your subconscious mind goes, okay, we've been in this dangerous situation before. Let's run the crossing of the road program. Look both ways, listen for traffic, look in the distance. Is it safe to cross? Okay, we cross. It doesn't feel tempted to mix it up and do something different this time. All right, let's hop across the road. It has a program that is run every time you want to cross the road. And if you've been using alcohol for years, perhaps even decades, you have programs in your subconscious mind that are now activating automatically whenever the evil clown whispers in your ear and says something like I've just said. So what we do on the course is, first of all, we start with the knowledge of what's really going on. Essentially, I show you how the magic trick is being performed. All right. And once you know how the trick is done, it doesn't matter how long you live, you can never label it as a magic trick again, because you know it's a piece of theater. You know it's not magic. You know it's just a piece of theater. So after we've done the education part of the course, yeah, you can choose to drink, but none of your plausible deniability will work anymore. You can choose to drink after you've done the first part of the course, and you can say, I'm drinking because I'm depressed. But instantly you'll go, no, that's bullshit. That's not true. Because you've seen how the trick is performed, right? So after we've done the education part of the course, then we move on to the pattern interruption part of the course. Because what we want to do is get these programs, these erroneous programs in your subconscious mind, and erode them. Wear them down so they get weaker and weaker and smaller and less effective. And the way you do that is by preventing them from running. And we know this works from the psychological experiments of Pavlov. Pavlov and his dogs. Pavlov rang a bell and fed his dogs, rang a bell, fed his dogs, rang a bell, fed it, and so on and so on. And eventually, could take away the food and just ring the bell, and the dogs would respond as though food was being served. They would salivate and expect to be fed. That's the famous story. Everyone knows that story, right? But what a lot of people don't know is that he continued his experimentation, and he left it a few months, and then he rang the bell. And what did the dogs do? Nothing. Because the program had got weaker from lack of use. It had faded and eroded and it had gone away. So the goal of my course is to do the same thing with those erroneous programs you have in your head around alcohol. So if you can leave it long enough, using the techniques that I teach you in the members area, let's say in 6 months' time, you're there at that party and you're thinking, oh, I feel a bit shy, I feel a bit socially anxious. The voice comes in your head. The evil clown says, hey, 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 you don't need to feel like this. Drink alcohol. But what happens? Nothing. Because the program's not there. In the past, that program would have automatically kicked in at that point, in the same way that the dogs salivated. The dogs didn't think, shall I salivate? Yes, I'm going to salivate. It just happened. It's automatic. The clown said the words, the program ran in the past. Now, because the program's not there or it's very weak, there's no automatic response. And so the decision comes over to you and your conscious mind. And that's where you have the power now, because now you have the knowledge, you have that belief system that alcohol is poison and you don't want it in your life. And you can respond to that challenge from your rogue tenant by saying, do I want to drink poison tonight? Is drinking poison going to make my night better? No, I don't think it will. This is how you gain power and control over this problem using my course. So it was a great question. Thank you for the email. If you've got one yourself, post it in the comments below or send me an email from the website, stopdrinkingexpert.com. Thank you so much for being with me today, and I will see you next week.
Discover the world's most successful and respected online quit drinking program today.
I'd say really consider this because it's different. It's different to anything you can find out there.
Are you finally ready to take action? Your sober journey begins 11 a.m. Sunday. Reserve your space at at my next free Quit Drinking